In the headlines, Dominica records a 78% pass rate in preliminary CSEC exams. Prime Minister Skerrit says he will consider alternative housing arrangements when his 2-year lease at Mount Daniel comes to an end. And Entrepreneurship and Innovation Hub launched for budding entrepreneurs. I'm Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This video has been produced by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, to help small businesses go digital. Hello, my name is Richard. I always keep an eye on my customers' needs to improve my service. That's why I have implemented new payment methods that are preferred by my customers. I immediately activated bank transfers that allow my customers to send me money directly from their bank accounts to mine. Introducing different forms of payment has allowed me to expand my customer base. I also enable payments with credit and debit cards. We must also keep abreast of new form of payments. For example, mobile wallets, with which you can pay or receive money. It's like having cash but on your cell phone. Reactivate your business and discover new ways to reach your customers. More guides and templates are available for download.
Visit bb.undp.org. eFuture is now.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, Dominica recorded a 78.7% pass rate at this year's CSEC exams. Julian Morris has that story.
Dominica's overall performance was 3.95% above the regional average. 10 of the country's 15 secondary schools performed above the regional average of 74.75%. Here are some of the top performers as announced by the Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, on Monday.
St. Mary's Academy, Hananel Valerie, 11 ones and 1 2. Convent High School, Hyder Edwards, 11 ones. Portsmouth Secondary School, Jade Francois, 10 ones and 2 twos. Alpha Waldron SDA, Kenzo Roye, 10 ones, 1 2, 2 threes. Convent High School, Shanali Gordon, 10 ones and 1 2.
This year, a total of 1,053 candidates wrote the CSEC exams in 33 subject areas. 748 candidates were from 15 secondary schools. Local CXC Registrar Magali Celestine says overall Dominica did well in the regional exam.
There was a 1.7% decrease in the overall percentage pass of students receiving grades 1, 2, and 3 in the 2020 CSEC exams when compared to 2019. 2 schools showed marked improvement when compared to their overall performance in 2019. The Dominica Grammar School moved from 74.3% to 76%, and the St. Mary's Academy moved from 85.2% to 91.6%. 330 candidates, or 44.1%, passed 5 or more subjects, including mathematics and English A. 534 candidates, or 71.4% of the total, passed 5 or more subjects with either grade 1, 2, or 3. In 2019, only 65.5% of the students and 67% in 2018 left secondary school with 5 or more subjects. So this year has been a really good year for us.
According to Celestine, more students obtained 6 and more ones this year compared to 2019.
In total, there are 50 students from 10 secondary schools obtaining 6 or more grade 1s in the CSEC exams. When compared to 2019, there were 46 students and 38 students in 2018. 22 out of the 33 subjects were awarded 80 to 100% pass.
In related news, a 17-year-old former student of the St. Mary's Academy has topped this year's local CSEC results. The preliminary results were announced by the Ministry of Education on Monday. Hananel Valerie, now a student at the Dominica State College, says he is pleased his hard work paid off.
To be quite honest, it was something that I had dreamt of, something that I really worked towards, but at a point I have to admit I wasn't exactly sure if it was going to happen, but I just want to say that I am happy. I can't really describe the emotion right now because it's been a long couple of months from since the beginning of fifth form, and I just have to say at the end I'm just joyful. I'm really speechless.
Valerie, who wants to be a forensic scientist when he gets older, is currently majoring in biology, chemistry and physics. He encourages other male students to focus on the goal to reap academic success.
To my male peers, I just want to say it's focus that needs to be the primary goal for males, because I know a lot of talented male people, but sometimes we get caught up in, you know, the male stereotypes that seem to define us. So I just want to encourage them to stay focused. If you know that what you are doing is to help you and to help those, keep to your goal. Don't let people you know, drive you with things that might seem pleasurable now, but focus on what you know is right for you.
Principal of the St. Mary's Academy, Sylvia John-Baptist, says she is proud of Valerie's achievement.
I'm very glad, very thankful to God for his blessings, and thank him for Hananel also, because Hananel has worked very diligently from the time he began school right on to the present. So he has always been a steadfast student, always focused, and he always did his best. So it was no surprise to me. I'm very thankful to God.
In other top stories, a 2-year lease on the Prime Minister's residence at Mont Daniel is not expected to be renewed. Prime Minister Skerrit says he plans to make alternative housing arrangements for his family at the end of that lease. Previously, the Prime Minister and his family lived at the State House conference room, which was in disrepair. But the Concerned Citizens Movement and others have protested against the $30,000 per month it would cost to rent the Mont Daniel property, security and other maintenance costs not included.
All I will say on this matter is that the indignity that I have been subjected to because of this residence is really out of this world. But rest assured, those who have concern about this, you will not see a renewal of this lease, and the Prime Minister will make, Roosevelt Skerrit will make private arrangements for the accommodation of himself and his family, and so that the issue of $42,000 and so on would not be an issue. But at the end of his 3 years, you will certainly see an end to this lease. It will not be extended, and I'm making every effort to provide accommodation for myself as a private citizen and my family as a private citizen. And that is my simple response to this. But you know, if we say that we're enlightened citizenry, our level of discussion on this thing should be certainly at a higher level.
The Prime Minister says plans to build an official residence at Mont Bruce had to be put on hold to provide shelter for victims of Hurricane Maria.
We had designs drawn up in 2016, I believe. Yeah. We had designs drawn up, and it was the intention of the government to build an official residence for the Prime Minister at Mont Bruce. But here comes Hurricane Maria. And I felt that it was not the right time to proceed with building a residence for the Prime Minister while the rest of the country were, there are many citizens who were who were homeless, who needed homes, the people in shelter. And I went to the cabinet and I said to the cabinet that we need to defer the commencement or the construction of the residence of the Prime Minister. So we put this on hold and gave preference to providing shelter to the citizens.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid. But there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Skerrit says Dominica cannot sustain another economic shutdown due to COVID-19. Therefore, the protocols in place for traveling visitors and returning Dominicans are sensible. Mr. Skerrit says while spending time in quarantine can be challenging, Dominicans and visitors alike must understand that these are not normal times. He says Dominica cannot let its guard down and find itself overwhelmed with COVID-19 cases.
If we are indifferent to the virus and we show no regard to it, we show no regard to people getting infected, and we say, okay, come. When you come, you just leave Douglas Church Airport and you go home and you can hug your family, you can go to parties, you can go lime and so forth. That's no problem whatsoever. And then we have community spread. You would have to be forced to close schools, you have to be forced to close churches, you have to be forced to close certain aspects of the economy. And the point is, both the public sector and the private sector cannot sustain another shutdown. And so, in this current period, we recognize that you have to do more planning and preparation for your travel. And we need to know where you're coming from. So the 72-hour negative PCR test is the gold standard, across the world, and that is what we've been following. In respect to Dominican citizens, we have facilitated, and we continue to do so, a number of Dominicans who are returning home who have not taken the PCR test to come home. But if you come home and you have not taken a PCR test, or you're coming from a hotspot, then we want you to go into quarantine. And after a certain number of days, we will subject you to another test. Once we satisfy that you're okay, then we'll send you home. It is in your interest, it is in the interest of your family, and it is in the interest of the whole country for us to follow this.
Mr. Skerrit says over time, he is willing to revisit the measures imposed on visitors entering the country, but he would not compromise the safety of the country.
Let us see how it works. As we go along, we continue to review and evaluate what we're doing. Where we believe that restrictions can be relaxed, then we will do so. But if it is working, let us not change it. Because if we change it based on the criticisms and the discomfort that people may be going through, then we run the risk of placing ourselves in danger. So we take note of all the criticisms. We don't set them aside. We don't throw cold water on them. We take note of them and we investigate each complaint people make, and we look at the merits and the demerits of it, and where we believe that we are at fault, we fix it. Where we believe we're not, we maintain it. So it's a process.
Dominica embarks on a journey towards becoming the first English-speaking entrepreneurship and innovation hub in the Caribbean.
This with Monday's official launch of the Dominica Entrepreneurship and Innovation Hub at Jungle Bay. 33 young entrepreneurs from across Dominica gathered there for the launch of this hub and workshop.
One of the challenges that we put forward to ourselves as an executive at the Chamber is how we could deliver more tangible value to our partners, our members, and the wider business community in Dominica moving forward. By giving them skills, by giving them tools that they could go back to their businesses and use to support their growth as they move forward. This is what the Entrepreneurship Hub is all about. And as young entrepreneurs and newly starting ones, we understand that you'll face challenges around cash flow, management and budgeting, around marketing, around navigating the changes that are coming with the digital environment that we're in right now. I want to ensure that you have the tools to be successful and to navigate those waters successfully. But as I thought about what the true value of this Entrepreneurship Hub would be, I reflected on some advice given by Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson is the founder of Black Entertainment Television, BET. And when asked what advice he would give to young entrepreneurs, he said, make your friends before you need them. It's a bit of a funny statement, but what he was talking about was networking, right? And the thing about business is, and I'm sure you've realized, everything is so dynamic. And things will change day to day, and you will need to respond. And one of the key things that you can have is a strong network within which you can tap certain resources to help to respond to the challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis. So what I want for the entrepreneurs to think about, as you go through this week, as you interact with professionals, and you come in contact with them, think of it not as a single point of contact, just in this workshop, but as a source of ongoing support as we leave here and you go back to your businesses and you move forward.
The Entrepreneurship Hub is expected to serve as a source of knowledge and experience that young entrepreneurs can tap into when they face inevitable challenges. Partners are the Office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Entrepreneurship and Innovation, the OAS and the DAIC. The initiative is designed for Dominica's young entrepreneurs to develop tools and knowledge and skills needed for building resilient and innovative businesses.
And Prime Minister Skerrit has joined other world leaders in wishing President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump the best since their COVID-19 positive diagnosis.
The statement issued by the Prime Minister on Saturday reads, on behalf of the government and people of the Commonwealth of Dominica, I want to wish the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and First Lady Melania Trump a quick and full recovery. Mr. Skerrit's statement goes on, we hold them in our hearts and prayers following the news this week of their COVID-19 diagnosis. It continues, I want to also send best wishes to the members of Congress and the members of the President's inner team who also in recent days have been afflicted by the virus. Skerrit says, with this sobering news, we are all reminded of our vulnerabilities and of the need for each of us to continue our vigilance and discipline as we battle this pandemic. Indeed, this year has been a difficult one for the entire world, a reality brought into sharp focus this past week when it was reported that over 1 million people have died from complications resulting from the disease. Let us pray that God continues to deliver comfort to the many families that have been affected.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Strong. We are resilient and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid. But there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. Dominica records a 78% pass rate in this year's preliminary CSEC exam results. Prime Minister Skerrit says he will consider alternative housing arrangements when his 2-year lease at Mount Daniel comes to an end. And Entrepreneurship and Innovation Hub launched for budding entrepreneurs. Feel free to access or pass the newscast on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis. And to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.